The football team ends the regular season up in West Orange by taking on the Seton Hall Prep Pirates, while the track team takes on the New Jersey Catholic Track Championships, and the water polo team ends their season by taking on the Garden State Duels. Find out what happened to those teams and the rest of the program on this week's State of the Marauders podcast.
Drive, high arcing floater too strong, rebound tapped around, the three to win the game, no good, and Prep survives. The Marauders have won their first sectional championship since 2014.
2-2 is in the air to right field, going back is in front for Weehan, he makes the play, and St. Peter's Prep retains its glory on the diamond. The Marauders are your 2023 Hudson County Tournament champions.
2 seconds left, cleared aside by Kirk, and we have a final. St. Peter's Prep, the kings of Hudson County, for the first time since 2019. Downfield, Sayuo battling Lois. Sayuo onside. Sayuo delivers for St. Peter's.
Here's Jude with 9, with 8, with 7. Sargent, score! Fake, pass, complete to Reese. That's gonna be a first down. That's gonna do it.
Welcome everyone to episode number 129 of the State of the Marauders podcast. We're sponsored by our good friends at Patreon. And again, I want to thank our loyal Patreon so far. We got a lucky 15, including Dominic Delafave, Pete Spiewak, and Christine Davis, who have subscribed to us so far. We would love to have your support of State of the Marauders program. All right? Sign up today at patreon.com/State of the Marauders. Again, that's patreon.com/State of the Marauders. Only $2 a month. You even get a full 7-day free trial. Once you sign up, you get live updates right from your phone on any game or match that we are covering. So it's essentially an extension of those social media, but you get the updates right before everybody else does. And during the game, you get all the updates exclusively on the chat before everybody else does. So go right to your phone, 7 days. That's it. 7-day free trial. You get on the phone. Then you pay $2 a month. It's not bad. Helps us support the program. You also get the podcast in video form, and again, before everybody else does. And much, much more. So again, if you're interested in signing up, make sure you do so today at patreon.com/State of the Marauders. So I am your host, Renan Rodriguez, of the class of 2010. And do we have any other guests today? No other guests. No other guests today. No other guests today for our Marauders. Because, Justin Pennick, co-host Chalking the Giants, he's preparing for the Jets-Giants game this weekend. I'll be at that game as well. So hopefully, for my sake, celebrating my birthday on Friday. Hopefully the Jets win. For my sake, that'd be a great birthday present. If I got the Devils winning on Friday, Jets win on Sunday, it'd be fantastic. Jackson and Iggy, they're all on Notre Dame this weekend. Checking out their football squad. So, speaking of football squads, that's exactly we're going to start off the big topic of the week, which is going to be our football Marauders as they end the regular season with a 1-8 record as they lose 28-14 to Seton Hall Prep. And boy, this game, start to finish, Seton Hall Prep dominated the time of possession, and they rode that all the way to victory. Okay, I'm going to go through the scoring plays right now. And as always, the scoring plays are sponsored by our good friends, right, on D1 Media Pro. Okay, so as always, you can watch all the games on the NFHS network, right? Because D1 Media Pro is the #1 live stream in the state of New Jersey for high school sports. So, again, make sure you sign up to the NJCTC Network for all your live stream coverage of St. Peter's Prep Athletics. So, let's talk about the scoring plays from this one. I want to start off right in the first quarter. The Seton Hall Prep would elect to defer to start off. Marauders, what do they do with that possession? Well, they're going to go 3 and outs on their first drive. Seton Hall Prep gets the ball. And on the first possession, they had great field position from the Marauders 40. They would go right down the field. It would be Michael Dunmore in from 5 yards out to make it 7-0 Seton Hall going into the second quarter again. Seton Hall dominated time possession, so the drives were limited in this game. And Seton Hall would take full advantage of it. Going to second quarter on the first drive of the second quarter. It's going to be my main man. Not really. He's not really my main guy. But Caleb Pascal's on the wide receiver toss to the right side. He's in from 11 yards out. 14-0 Pirates. But the Marauders would bounce right back on the next drive. Aldridge Perez with a good kickoff return. And then leave it to the rest for the Tyler Bell in the offense. He had a couple nice passes on this drive to Hassan Moore, Dallas Reese. And then the final one, a 12-yard rollout to the right pass. Jalen Klein open in the flat. Touchdown Marauders, 14-7 with about 2 minutes left to go before halftime. And once again, turning point of the game. Feels like this has been the theme all year for our Marauders. Seton Hall will get the ball, and they would drive down the field in 2 minutes. Right? A good kickoff by Moran on a little script kick, got to the 34-yard line. And Liam Lundigan had a great drive. He got the first completion of Pascal's. Then got a couple carries, got a couple first downs. And then the big setup, Liam Lundigan would find Dunmore in the flat all the way down the 3-yard line. Then Ben Mitchell be in from 3 yards out to make it 21-7 at the half. That was a backbreaker for the Marauders. They had momentum down 14-7 near halftime. Could have gotten that momentum going in the locker room, especially because going into the second half, they forced Seton Hall into a 3-and-out. So imagine the Marauders were able to have a 7-point advantage, or deficit rather, and then force a 3-and-out. That could have been some good momentum, but 21-7, be back and forth for the punt game in the third quarter. Again, Seton Hall, which is the killing drive, they literally only 2 drives in that third quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Only 2 drives, one for St. Peter's Prep, one for Seton Hall Prep. And we go into the fourth quarter, and again, second drive of the fourth quarter, it's the Michael Dunn show. He gets a couple carries. Danny Easter had a great game for Seton Hall. He's been the Marauder killer these last couple times against the Marauders. He did so last year as well. But it would be in the hands of Liam Londigan, the quarterback. On 3rd and 2 from the 5, gets a little blitz, gets a little pressure, and then he's able to scramble out of it, gets to the edge on the right side. He's in, 5-yard touchdown, 28-7 Seton Hall. And then Jalen Bullock, the freshman, will come in, get sacked his first play, but he will lead the Marauders 60-plus yards of total offense, including his first varsity touchdown, which was a 7-yard run to make it 28-14. Marauders try an onside kick to try to get the ball back, but it would not go far enough. Seton Hall gets possession. They would run out the clock, and Marauders will go to 1-8 on the year. 1-8 on the year for our St. Peter's Prep Marauders. And let's talk about now we talked about the turning point of the game. Let's talk about the offensive side of things for our Marauders. We talked about it, right? The big storyline for this week. Again, the Marauder offense goes as Tyler Bell and Jalen Klein go, right? Dallas Reese had another great game. Had a couple pre-snap silly penalties by this offense at times, but Dallas Reese, another great game. He would have, I believe, 4 receptions for 52 yards to lead the Marauders in receiving. But Jalen Klein, 11 carries, 39 yards. That's not going to get it done for this Marauder offense. I mean, I did like what offensive coordinator Ryan Flaherty did, in which he got Tyler Bell moving around this week. A lot of option reads. He used athleticism well, 12 carries, 56 yards. But the big story on the offense, as we just talked about in the scoring plays, is the fact Jalen Bullock had to come in on that last series. He led the Marauders to a touchdown. The offense, you can't expect to win games scoring 14 points in the Superfluke Conference. You can't, right? That's just you need to score more points. But the number of drives that were limited for the offense, they had much opportunity to. Credit to Seton Hall's defense and the offensive gameplay. Because they allowed the clock to be wasted. Even though the defense allowed less than 300 yards, but time possession clearly favored Seton Hall in this game. Now, like I said, the defense played well. Okay? They played well. I want to give quick shout-outs to Marvell Davis, Joe Essayan, and Sam Bartozek. Plus other guys like Jordan Rodriguez, Justin Gonzalez, amongst others in that secondary. But as they talked about, credit to Seton Hall's offense. They got first downs. They extended drives. Again, there's a couple silly penalties in the Marauder, got them in good field position, a couple poor special teams plays, but Stevens played good. Only 20 points. I know only 20 points is a lot of points, but again, if you've been watching St. Peter's Prep football all year, 28 points. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And they allowed less than 300 yards. That's a big thing, too. They allowed less than 300 yards of total offense. You got to win those games, especially one-score games at half, like this game was, essentially, right? Because they were down a score right before 2 minutes. That also happened against DePaul as well, which they tied the game right before half, and then they allowed that back-breaking touchdown. I mean, I feel like there hasn't been no connection between offense and defense. I feel like the offense has a good week, the defense has a bad week, right? There hasn't been any continuity amongst the two phases of the game. And it's just disappointing. It's been a disappointing season for our Marauders. I don't remember the last time a football team was 1-8, but they're gonna be 1-8 heading to next week. The good news is, though, with next week coming, it is the plans that I talked about. So this means wipe the records off. Anyone can win it. We've seen it in baseball right now. The 83 win. Arizona Diamondbacks are taking on a 90-win Texas Rangers team. Okay? Just get in the dance. It's all that matters. Mars are in. We'll see who we're going to play against, but listen, you get hot at the right time, things can happen, right? Maybe they had a great week this week. They win their first round matchup. Then they go to the quarters and the semis. Maybe the career can run. Who knows? But can't give up on the team yet. Cannot give up on the team. These guys have been working hard all year. Cannot give up on them. So again, stay tuned for next week's episode to see what happens. Stay tuned to the State of Marauders social media accounts for the bracketology of the football non-public A division. We're going to talk about the soccer team now. We're going to talk about our soccer guys. Again, the reigning, defending Hudson County champions. They're off. They played against them on that Saturday we talked about last week, but they're off. But we do know who they're going to play against on Halloween. Okay? They're going to take on St. John Vianney in the quarterfinals. It's going to be a 4 p.m. start on Tuesday at Caden Point. Kevin Conley and I will be on the call for that one. It's going to be fun. Tune in if you can make it. And if the Marauders would win on Halloween, this could set up a very interesting scenario for not only the guys at St. Mars, but for all you St. Peter's fans, loyal fans listening out there, because we might have double duty on Friday. We might have some soccer and football playoff action. So get ready for the extended state playoffs for our St. Peter's Prep Marauders. All right. Now it's going to be time for our news of the week. And once again, our news of the week is going to be sponsored by our friends at the State of the Marauders Sports Reporters Club. So, Ben, tell us more about the State of the Marauders Sports Reporters Club.
Hello everyone, my name is Ben Novosioluk, class of 2024, and I'm the president of the State of the Marauders Sports Reporters Club. If you're interested in sports media and prep athletics, this is the perfect club for you. Stay tuned for the morning announcements and activities fair once school begins for news on how to do it.
So, in the first news of the week, the cross-country team competed at the New Jersey Catholic Track Championships. And for our Marauders this week, they had a good showing overall. So we're going to talk about all our teams first, including the freshman guys who got, I believe, take a look. Yes, they got 5th place overall in the freshman division. Harry Anderson, again, our guy, he is the brother of the vice president of the State Marauders Sports Club, Charlie Anderson. Harry Anderson got 5th place overall. Henry Gilthillen, 25th. Miles Fajardo in 30th. Again, overall place for the freshman guys are 5th overall. In the JV squad, they got 2nd place overall, led by Eli Farmer in 4th, Nicholas Bremick Santorio in 15th, and Jason Peterson in 26th. For our varsity guys, it ends up 3rd place overall. They were led by my guy, Cheyenne Ori Hurley. Got 8th place overall. Alex Giattino in 30th. And Liam Teleska in 31st. So, our Marauders are going to have one more competition to end the year, as they're going to take on the non-public A championships. All right? Non-public A championships. Then they probably go to nationals as well. But next week, non-public A championships down in Howell. So make sure you go out and support our Marauders. Next up on the news of the week, the Water Polo guys, they're going to end their losing streak as they end their season 3-9. Yes. So it's thinking, whoa, hold on. They were just 2-6 last week. Yes. A lot of magic happened. So the first match that they took on this week was against our good friends at Blair Academy, in which they would win 8-5. Many of the young players made the varsity's debut in that one. Goals were spread out, with Mikey Florentino getting 2, Ben Lucas, Cyrus Chang, Owen Meager, Jack Halligan, Nick Valenti, and Oliver Jacobitz adding a goal each, with Seamus Brown making 4 saves in net. in his varsity goalie debut. So that's a great way to break out the schneid for our Marauders. Then they took on the Garden State Duels, in which they will unfortunately lose all 3 matchups. They had good fights in all 3 of them, though. They lost 13-10 to both St. Ben's and Pingree before losing to Lawrenceville 16-6. Against St. Benedict's, Nick Valenti with 5, Michael Florentino with 2, Ben, Lucas, Alpayata, and Jack Halligan each with a goal. Against Pingree, Owen Meager with 4 goals, Nick Valenti with 3, Thomas, Mike, and Ben with a goal each as well. And then lastly, Nick had 4 goals against Lawrenceville, Thomas Gong, and Owen Meager each with goals as well. So, again, their season is now over. After the Garden State Duels, they end up 3-9 on the year. And again, I want to thank all the seniors of the team for their hard contributions all year, including Evan Murkarth, Nick Valenti, Alpayata, Connor Rogers, Bradley Struck, Jack Halligan, Thomas Gong, and Braden Perez. So again, congratulations again for a great season from our Water Polo guys. Also on the news of the week, we do not, unfortunately, have the results from this past week's race. So we're going to get you both this week's and next week's results on next week's episode. So again, stay tuned for our Crew Marauder updates. And again, you can always follow them at Marauder Rowing on Instagram. They give you all the latest updates from the races on there. So make sure you follow them today. Okay. Last but not least, we're going to talk about the 50-year anniversary for the wrestling team. And what do they have in store for us? They got a little beefsteak dinner. Yes, a little beefsteak dinner. 50th anniversary edition. And they're going to have it on November the 11th of 2023. That's going to be RSVP'd with the Eventbrite link on the SPP Wrestling Instagram page. So again, make sure you sign up today. Again, it's a great cause celebrating SPP Wrestling. They have a loaded schedule, trying to become another top 5 year for them in the state, trying to get a lot of those guys to Atlantic City as well. So again, make sure if you're interested, honor this team by signing up today. Okay. 2 more things to talk about in this week's episode, all right? 2 more things, ladies and gentlemen. 2 more things. Okay. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the week ahead for our Marauders, in which the soccer team will take on St. John Vianney in the NJCTC non-public A quarterfinal again, 4 p.m. at Caden Point. The football team, their first round matchup, TBD. Again, stay tuned to the social media page for updates on that. The cross country guys, they're taking on the NJCTC non-public A championships on Saturday. That time is to be determined from Holdell Park. And the crew team will stay at Oldham Park this week to take on the NYRA Invitational. That will also be on Saturday as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it's been a quick episode. I know it's a quick episode. Not too much really to talk about with soccer not being in the mix this week. No crew results to talk about as well. So we're going to be a little bit quicker this week. Again, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but just for you guys, we'll make it a little quick this week. So the Marauder Player of the Week award is going to be sponsored by our good friends at the Chalk Talk Podcast. So Iggy and Jackson, tell us what the Chalk Talk Podcast is all about.
I'm Ignacio Morrow alongside Jackson Briamonte. And, we're just here to promote an advertisement. Jackson, would you like to explain what the advertisement is?
Yeah, so we're here promoting our podcast, Chalk Talk Podcast. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you can find your podcasts. We also have socials such as Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You want to follow those for additional content along with the podcast. Challenge videos, trivia videos, all that good stuff. We're just two friends that talk sports. We have interviews, cover the latest news, do hot takes, just all the good stuff in the sports world, getting it out there for you guys to listen and enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're just debating, hot takes, all that, and we'll be covering some Marauder sports this year too. So just check us out. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Chalk Talk Podcast. Enjoy the rest of your event. Chalk Talk out.
To Ignacio Morrow and Jackson Briamonte for the Marauder Player of the Week Award. Again, make sure to check them out on Chalk Talk on Spotify and on their Instagram page as well. All right. So without further ado, the Marauder Player of the Week Award. Again, we got a lot of great candidates from last week, if you remember. Right? We had the one and only Philip Sairo from the soccer team. And again, it was such a great nomination for Philip Sairo. You had Aiden Pucha from cross country, Joe Simon from football, Evan Murkoff from water polo, and Ben Novoselic from crew. Again, all great nominees. Like, I don't know who's going to win this one because it's going to be a close race to finish. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a drum roll, please. The winner of this week's Marauder Play of the Week Award. He had 45% of the vote. It's going to be none other than the senior goaltender from the Water Polo team. His name is Evan Murkoff. Congratulations to Yanya and the rest of the Water Polo guys for winning this award. Again, great season from the Water Polo squad. So now we're going to have 3 more candidates to talk about, which is going to include from the cross-country team, Cheyenne Hurley. From the football team, Marvell Davis. And from the water polo guys, for the final time this year from water polo, Thomas Gong. So be sure to vote for who you think should be this week's Marauder Player of the Week. You have until Saturday, November the 4th at 11:59 p.m. Remember, you can only vote once on the app, all right? So only vote one time. So vote for who you think should be this week's Marauder Player of the Week. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for another episode of State of Mars podcast. Again, I want to thank you all for listening this week. Again, short week, not too much to talk about. Next week, though, we got a lot of playoff action. We got non-public A track and football. We got crew going to NYRAs, and we also had the last week's results as well. And then the soccer team by the quarterfinals and potential semifinals, right? Because I didn't put it on the docket yet because we don't know if they're going to make the semifinals or not. But if there will be a semifinals, it'll also be on Friday as well. So we got a lot of action for your Marauders as we get closer and closer to the finish line here on the fall 2023 season. It's been a fun one, ladies and gentlemen. It's been fun. We're looking forward to recapping your Marauders once again next week as the fall playoffs continue. So, I'm Renato Rodriguez as your wonderful host once again. Gonna sign off. And as always, let's go.
We are